So, hello, Miss Kalyani Chavali. This is Anjali Swami from Symbiosis Institute of Managed Studies, Pune. So, we are here with our ESL SIMS Mumbai's new interview series that is Founders Connect 1.0. So, here we are. So, let me introduce Kalyani Chavali to you all. So, Kalyani Chavali resides in Pune, Maharashtra. Basically, she resides in Talegaon, which is in outskirts of Pune. She has done her BTech from Institute of ICT Mumbai, and she has done her BTech in Dice of Technology. And right now, she's running her own venture that is Sahrudaya which is there in Telugu only, and Sahrudaya is more into preparing snacks that are authentic and 100% man-made, and there's no chemicals, no maida, and no sugars. So uh, the motto of their venture is that if our ancestors never felt guilty of eating, then why should we? And here she is with us. So, Kalyani, let us know your journey. Like, how did you come up with this idea of having this authentic, preparing these snacks which are very authentic, and it has grounded roots to our traditions. As I know that you have been into two, three more different ventures before, and now it's been 2 to 3 years you are in this business. So,
Yeah, so hi everyone. So, first of all, definitely I agree upon this that even I never thought of starting this venture, which would be into social venture. I was mostly inclined towards the technology part. Um, but then similarly with all my friends, I was also applying for masters outseas, and that is when the COVID hit, and it was life changing for everyone, and it changed my life as well.
yeah, right.
um, I had to postpone the whole um, doing my MS in the different country because of the COVID, and then I got a fellowship under JB Joshi sir, where I was placed in a village. So there's an organization called Vigyan Ashram, which is a rural organization. It's in village called Pabar. They do a lot of rural projects for rural people. And there I was doing my fellowship where I was studying about the vitamin D deficiency among the rural women or among anyone. Why does it occur? What are the complexities involved in it? And can we have a treatment, effective treatment, which is 10 less than 10 rupees per month? So this was the whole study, and it was my first time in the village. And I used to travel a lot. I love traveling. So I used to go to different villages nearby for a morning walk and everything. And then I used to also interact with these ladies, usually in this village. So when I was staying in Pune or Mumbai for my education, I had a lot of options for my like eating options. Like we had burgers, we had some Indian food, we have different cuisines available. But when I was
Right.
in this village, there was only two or three things that were made available. One was the vada pav, and the other was misal pav, and then
Correct.
some sweets like jalebis, laddus, etc.
And they're too
So
common.
yeah, and the palette was very small.
Mm.
Um, and then I met a lady called Reshma Tai, who used to make delicacies which were very traditional. And the most interesting fact that I realized when I used to taste her delicacies were the ingredients that she used were from the nearby farms.
Oh,
So in Pavara or in that region, flax seeds, sesame, bajra,
right.
moringa is what is grown on a large quantity. And she used to make the delicacies, and these are very traditional old delicacies. So one was when we started, the one was Saptadhanya Laddu, which we now call it as Nutri 7 because there are many Saptadhanya Laddus available on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. So it's a mixture of bajri, flax seeds, melon seed, til, gur, ghee, and elaichi. The best thing about these laddus was because they are so about the 500. So we also have this, like, the recipes are 500 years old recipes, right? It's because they are tried and tested,
Oh,
and they do not, and these recipes are not just made to satisfy one's taste bud, but it has every ingredient which is used has its own importance. So when I talk about these laddus, it is very iron rich. It has jaggery and everything. But to absorb the jaggery, you also need iron absorbing vitamins or minerals in it.
Right, right.
So so it is a wholesome laddu which not only provides you iron but which also helps in absorbing the iron.
Okay.
So, and then that was a ground break where I got to know, okay, so when we try to like, when there are big FMCGs, when they market loaded with vitamins and minerals and everything stuff, but do they also take a look upon how, yeah. So I was just mentioning that. And then when I used to compare with the FMCG products, which talks about how they used to, well, how the products are loaded with different kinds of vitamins and minerals, but do we actually care about these minerals getting or these vitamins getting absorbed by the body? So then I realized this whole food science or the old recipes are designed in such a beautiful manner that it satisfies your taste buds, souls, nourishes your body and everything. There is no side effect as such, which I guess today's generation or the industrialist products which miss it.
Right, right. So, as I told everyone that you have been the student in BTech types of technology in chemical side, right? So, there's a transition between, BTech to this food industry, and these transitions are quite normal nowadays. But what usually happens when someone wants to pursue entrepreneurship, or they think that they might have the capability to do the business, but somewhere they lack that confidence, or they don't believe in the potential, and their idea remains idea only, that does not get executed. They somewhere think that क्या होगा, मतलब मतलब मेरा आइडिया एग्जीक्यूट होगा या नहीं, कहीं ना कहीं उनको एक डर रहता है। तो आपके आपके टाइम ऐसा, मतलब आपके साथ हुआ था कि मैं इस आइडिया को एग्जीक्यूट करके रहूंगी, तो was there this problem with you, and if this was not a problem, then what mindset actually help you to make your idea into execution?
सो नहीं, आई एग्री अपॉन दिस कि बहुत इश्यूज आते हैं. सो देयर इज अ बिग, आई गेस पता नहीं किसी ने तो बोला था, आई एम नॉट द वन हु सेइंग इट, बट marry to the do not marry to the solution, marry to the problem.
Okay.
Like a single problem, एक problem को solve करने के लिए you can have hundreds of ways.
Hmm.
But if you think this is the only way that I have to go forward, तो issue आ जाता है. So
Hmm.
if I consider, so similarly, I had a lot of issues. So I do not belong from any business background, and then food sector is loaded with, like, it's mostly overly oversaturated.
Yes.
Like अगर shop में जाओगे, you have 600 different products. हर चीज में there is complete saturation. So then putting our products in a different manner with limited resources, obviously the resource is money, what I'm talking about here, was a very big task. So how do we execute when we, so the biggest problem was to introduce people to foods which are tried and tested. And then it's all about, making customers unlearn a lot of new things. So we do frying, but and for me or for all the, like, if you ask your grandmothers and everything, frying is the best technique to preserve it naturally.
Hmm.
It does not have any side effects. It's just the removal of water and some oil goes into it because oil is necessary, right? But when we were launching Garelu, which is one of our best-selling product, many people started objecting that it has oil. Fried है, आप bake क्यों नहीं करते? And then baking involves different kinds of addition of dehydrating agents, some baking agents, and everything. And then we believe that we wouldn't put anything which does not grow in the soil or from the soil. So these chemicals doesn't grow, and then that is what. Then the whole thing comes in, that how do we sell the products, or how do we execute in such way that we could sell the products, right? So again, then we tried different ways. How can we educate? How, like, can we go to different markets where we can actually educate to the people, like, what is frying, what is oil, how bad it is, how good it is, all such things. So yeah, it's you have to keep on trying. You should only remember the problem you want to
Hmm.
solve,
Hmm.
and then you should try all the 100 solutions.
Hmm.
and then one solution would definitely work out. But yeah, it requires a lot of patience,
Actually,
patience for sure.
right. Because
It
that,
requires a lot of
what if I fail? This whole mentality remains there in a student's mind, या फिर जो भी pursue करना चाहता है entrepreneurship, अगर मैं फेल हो गया और मेरे सारे पैसे बर्बाद हो गए तो अ, फिर क्या? मे बी ये एक चीज है, या फिर पैसे, या फिर टाइम, या फिर एनर्जी चली गई, एंड फाइनली अगर हम फेल हो गए तो फिर क्या? तो मे बी ये एक डर है जो हमेशा हर किसी के दिमाग में रहता है. तो हाउ टू ओवरकम दिस फियर?
okay. I have a very different approach for this. पैसे क्यों लगते हैं? प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए पैसे लगते हैं. अगर मार्केटिंग के लिए पैसा लगता है, मतलब in today's generation, people talk. I don't know. Sorry, this might be very wrong, but this is what I think. कि customer acquisition cost होता है, ये cost होता है, वो cost होता है. Just go back again, like how we went back with the recipes. Go back how the marketing was done. Start from there. There was very low investment. There was not even this term called marketing. एक मारवाड़ी दुकान डालता था, products लाता था. The way he used to interact with the customers is what is the biggest trust customers used to have,
Hmm.
right? So you so to sell the product, you do not actually require the money. To make the product is what you require the money. And then it depends ki product आप महंगा बना रहे हो कि सस्ता. Fortunately, I was into food product. Food products do not cost much. द बिगेस्ट अमाउंट रॉ मटेरियल जो भी होगा, अगर आप देखोगे, तो अगर मैं सिर्फ घी भी बेचूं तो घी मुझे 600 रुपए किलो में आ जाता है. So the invest to for me to invest is 600 rupees, and I have to make sure that if I'm putting it 600 rupees on the table, I should get at least 1,000 rupees back, right? So that's how. But about paise वगैरह, do not be very overly ambitious, because by this I mean is, this is the product, this is going to hit off the market. You never know when it would hit. You should always be prepared in a way that if it get hit, you are ready with the supply, and if it does not get hit, you're ready with the supply to be get consumed otherwise.
Right,
So that maths you have to work out. You
right.
cannot just be overly confident or overly assumption about, ये तो चल जाएगा.
Correct, correct. Then my next question to you is that in I researched about your company and what the values that your company holds. They say कि हमारे जो products हैं वो mostly authentic हैं, और invention, as such we do not we don't invent, but we discover the undiscovered, and you don't try fusions of all. लेकिन आजकल के ज़माने में people are more towards fusing things and making new dishes. So have you ever thought of going to that field, because the segment, that the customer segment that is there of trying fusion stuff and experimental stuff has the potential, like the business can have a big revenue from there as well.
Yes. So food is not a business. Sorry. So the people who see food as a business is what we are here with all the diseases right now. As we said, water, food, and clothes are the basic necessities. And currently they are the ones which are polluting the earth very badly. The all the three industries, may it be the water, the usage of water that we are doing for building different products, or be it the food industry, the wastage it is creating. Like if I would name the big FMCGs, or else the McDonald's or KFC, which is bringing a lot of greenhouse gases, or making it completely commercialized. You cannot treat food as coming in and going out. It is a big process. Like from growing of the, because I have seen this, there are big companies, when they make it a big product, what happens is the whole, that village cultivates only one crop, and cultivating just one crop, there is a whole big pollution, or it changes the whole ecosystem. So I feel food is very precious. You shouldn't disturb that cycle. And the balance is what our ancestors have achieved. Somewhat we have to respect the balance. I'm not saying I'm completely against the innovation. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm not completely against the innovation, but definitely we have a line where we never think of stepping out. So we do, as I said, these are old recipes, but we modify them according to today's consumer needs. So the biggest consumer need right now is to have very crispy and easily chewable. Earlier, I remember my grandmothers used to have very hard stuff and still they can bite it and eat it. But our teeth have become so
Yeah.
weak that we cannot bite hard stuff. So it was very big task for us to get garelu, which are completely made out of rice flour and are expected to be a bit hard, to make them
Okay.
very brittle and chewy and every that such modifications we do bring.
Okay.
And that's what our innovation is. But we do not play with the taste, texture, and the
Oh,
ingredients at all.
okay, okay, got it, got it. That's actually something intriguing to me. Like modification, you welcome modification, but not on the authenticity, not on compromising authenticity. That's what you mean, I guess. Then I would like to discuss about the revenue model that your company works on. So, what is the revenue model of your company?
So about the revenue model, we have different sales channels again. So
Hmm.
it's the same. We sell the product, we get the money. Where do we sell the product? How do we sell the product? Then these all things came in, like the target customers and everything. So they are very fancy words. First, when I started, or when we started, I wasn't giving much importance to all these terms, but then I understood that you cannot make each and every person on the earth to understand with your vision. There would be some class or some people with some qualification,
Yes,
like it can be education qualification, it can be their
right.
background from which they are coming, so that they can understand your vision,
Yes,
is what I feel you should first try with them, build them, and then make them your advertisements, like make them your brand ambassadors, and let that be go word.
yes, yes,
So I
got
guess, yeah, so getting the target customer is very important, so that it reduces your finances, the marketing cost, definitely, and it's more effective in getting more sales. So yeah, then we sell through online. Till now we have
it.
our own website, but now we're expanding to different e-commerce websites as well. Then we were into retail, but now we are not in retail at all.
Okay.
Because the competition is very high, and we do not
Right.
have in retail. You need to have a very good packaging, and the
Correct.
shelf life should be at least 4 months.
Correct.
And our products do not have any preservatives and chemicals, so
Right.
the shelf life is maximum 2 months.
Right.
So then with the shopkeeper and everything, the relationship doesn't work out.
Right.
So the whole supply chain, that's another innovation that we are planning to bring on, where
Oh,
the supply chain goes very fast. But yeah, so online and stalls and farmers marketers are the two channels through which we sell,
okay.
through which we sell. The other is the subscription model that we offer parents, so
Hmm.
that they can subscribe and they can give these snacks like
Nice.
freshly made.
Right. So, as you said, that is it is a highly saturated market, right? So, how your company, differentiate itself from the others, because it's very tough to be there in this type of competition.
Okay, so this is something one of our customers said. There is one customer who regularly buys from us. And then when we ask them, why do you like it? So it's generally a customer talk that we have with our
Yes.
customers. So then he said that you make food and not sell it,
Oh,
which has a lot of good meaning, that in the market he, in the market there are a lot of, so people, obviously the business, if the business has to run, you have to get addicted to the products.
mm,
And there are different strategies where people use to, so that the consumer gets addicted to the food.
yes.
Right. But that's the difference that we have, that we do not have such addictive anything. It's like coming back to dal chawal. Like
Hmm.
you want to go out and try out different cuisines, but then you would come home and you would have that dal chawal.
Actually,
So
actually.
we say that we are a dal chawal.
Oh,
People would go out, people would try different things, like they can hop onto different snacks. But when they want to return with the comfort, they would
yes.
return to us.
We return to our घर का खाना, माँ के हाथ का खाना, चावल, दाल, रोटी, सब्जी. That's what our tradition also says. Uh, घर का बोला घर को आए, something like that. Fine. Then my last question to you is, if somebody wants to, partner with you or would like to, intern with your company, or maybe you would like to hire someone. So what are the qualities that you would like to see in that person?
Okay, so this is a thing that we face with all the interns or all the people who join us in the team, in the front end team, not in the manufacturing part, but in the front end, is that they should have the ability to unlearn everything that they have learned. So first, so when you come here, are you ready to unlearn everything? Because the working here is very different, not in terms of just in terms of everything, in terms of how we process the food, how we see as the business. We want to grow very slow. We're not looking for something, just put the money and get out into the market and a whole large. We want every foundation steps to be as strong as possible. So we are mostly into the steady growth. So, but it's a big learning curve, and there is a lot of experiments that goes into it, because again, I am also experimenting, and that's how I have been learning business.
Right.
I have been understanding business, I would say, not learning but understanding. So yeah, he or she should be very patient, is ready to give up things that he or she thought are very important.
Right.
No, because I would share just one small. So there was one person who we got as a food technologist for modifying the recipes, and and when he came in, so there was a lot of issues that he had first. This is not how the food has to be processed. Woman cannot sit down and make the food. Woman has to stand and make the food. And then we were like, no, if they stand, if so, because now it's like we are making healthy food to people, right?
Yeah.
We cannot take a chance on our women's health. The ones who are making
Hmm.
healthy food to the people, they should sit on the ground, they should fold their legs and then make the products.
Oh.
So when the machine designing came in, this thing came in ki nahi, they have to sit down. The whole design of a machine should be that, or the process, in fact, that it is so friendly that it does not compromise women's health at any
ओह!
point.
एंड ये चीज़ मतलब आपने इम्प्लीमेंट की है या फिर आपको कहीं से ऐसे प्रेरणा मिली है इस चीज़ के लिए?
Okay, so about that, तो हम लोग जब ये हेल्दी फूड बना बोल रहे थे और कंज्यूमर को दे रहे थे, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द वर्ड हेल्थ इटसेल्फ इज अ वेरी बिग स्कैम. There is nothing like healthy food. You be healthy when your mind is healthy. Okay, so when we were making up, फिर एक छोटा सा एक्सीडेंट हो गया. ये लिंक्डइन पे बहुत जगह मिल जाएगा आपको. तो एक छोटा सा एक्सीडेंट हुआ था विद वन ऑफ आवर वुमेन, एंड सो शी हैड अ वेरी डीप कट इन हर लेग,
हुँ,
or she's very thin and everything, but she's very strong. She is very strong. One of her very strong. She's very thin, and उतना deep cut होने के बाद भी she couldn't bleed.
ओह!
बिल्कुल भी खून नहीं आया. And that's what when we got to know that these women lack hemoglobin a
अच्छा,
lot. So they do not have blood. And then when we found out the reason, it was very simple, that they consume food after everyone else has consumed in their house. So जो बचा कुछ होता था, देयर वाज नो फिक्स डाइट. जैसे अगर उनके बच्चों के डब्बे में या उनके हस्बैंड्स के लिए हम लोग देखते हैं, तो दो तीन चपाती रहती है, सब्जी रहती है,
हाँ,
दाल रहती है, चावल होती है. फिर जो कभी अच्छा बचा तो खा लेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं, तो नहीं. So then it triggered ki this cannot be done. When
राइट,
we are selling good food, we should make sure that first our women are good.
राइट,
Then the whole process begin ki what is, how do we increase the hemoglobin, what all comes into it. And then niche baithne ka, so my father is professor, so I know, because he has to stand and conduct the lectures. I
हुँ,
know what problems he has when
या
he has to stand
करेक्ट,
holding
करेक्ट,
it. So then that's the thing, they should sit for a while, because जब वो घर पे जाएंगे वापस खड़े होके खाना बनाएंगे, खड़े होके
अच्छा,
सब काम पर करेंगे.
सही
It
कहा,
should be a place where their health is not compromised.
राइट. So that was really good talking with you. I got to know lots of insights that we don't even see while doing business or even observing business from the student's perspective or from far end. So thank you so much, Kalyani, for connecting with us, and would like to meet you again in Founders Connect. And we wish you all the very best for your business. And I hope that our audience would gain lots of insights and lots of inspiration from you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.